It is live. You're live already.
Oh, I'm alive already. Oh, okay, I'm live. Yes, I'm alive. But I don't see myself here. I don't see myself here. See?
Oh, you might have to hit refresh again.
I did. Oh, there you go. I see myself. Hi everyone, this is JP. Well, I was asked to do some sharing about my paranormal experiences since I guess it's one of the more popular topics amongst my friends, and I thought that perhaps during this what's it called, the Malaysian
Movement control order.
okay, it's called the movement control order. It's a lockdown basically. So I'm spending the lockdown here in Kechara Forest Retreat, and this is my room. So as you can see, that's part of my altar behind me, and at the bottom you see that it's stashed with food just in case the lockdown becomes more intense. So anyway, today I thought I would share with you my first encounter with a spirit, and that was almost 30 years ago. You see, all my life I've always told my mom that, you know, if I ever see a spirit, I would shit my pants. Oh, I can't say that? I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, bleep that. Yeah, so when I was in college in the States, I went to Manhattan, and I stayed, and during the first few days staying in the apartment, I felt very uncomfortable for reasons I didn't know. And hi Sharon, and I just felt that there was something watching me. And mind you, I was only what, 17, 18 at that time, so you know, and I've never seen or experienced any paranormal. So what I did was I moved my bed around because I just couldn't sleep all night, and I would just turn on, you know, the light in my room. Just felt something wasn't right. Maybe I thought it was the feng shui or something. So anyway, so I changed my, you know, I moved my bed next to the window, and had blinds, you know, I had like roller blinds, and every night I'll just wake up at 3 o'clock, and it became a nuisance, you know. So anyway, I just ignored it. So 2-3 days towards, you know, when classes began, I remembered that I had a morning class at 9 a.m. and I would make sure that I get enough sleep, you know, because then one night when I woke up again, it was 3 o'clock, because I had, you know, imagine this is my bed, and then the window was right next to me, and I would have a clock right next to me, and every time I would turn around and I'll look at the clock, and then I would say, you know, and I would see that it's actually 3 o'clock every night without fail. So there was one night, same thing, 3 o'clock, and then as I turned around, I saw some light. You know, it was like a silhouette. It was like light on the carpet. I was like, that's strange, because my window actually faces another building. Because in New York, buildings are right next to each other. So I don't remember seeing any street lights, you know, coming in. So, and I had the roller blinds down. So what I did was I did like this right next to the window. And when I looked to my right, where the light was shining, I couldn't see the shadow of my hand. And I was like, that's strange. That's really, really strange. Then I leaned forward like this, and I took another good look. And I was like, wait a minute, you know, that looks like a silhouette, you know, of a person. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, you know. And I looked again, I was like, wait a minute, it's actually, the silhouette wasn't on the carpet. It was actually standing right next to me, right next to my bed. And I didn't know how to react to that. And I was just very fascinated at that time. And I just leaned back like that, and I looked at it, for like minutes, just to see what it was going to do. And then it dawned upon me that it was a spirit. And I was like, oh wow, this is my first time, seeing a spirit. And for many years when I was a kid, I would always tell my mom that, I'm going to freak out if I ever see a spirit and all that. So, but I didn't, and I was more fascinated with my sighting. So I looked at it, and it didn't do anything. And I had a morning class which I had to wake up early to attend. So I was like, oh, okay, well, nothing's gonna happen. So I turned around and I went to sleep again. So that was my first encounter, and I was like, oh, okay, that's not so bad. So what happened was then the following day, because I was really excited, so after class I called my friends in Boston, because this friend of mine with a group of her friends came to visit me before school started, and they left like a day or two before. So I was like, hey, guess what I saw? And she was like, what? It was like, I think I saw a spirit. And there was a moment of silence, and I asked, hey, are you okay? I didn't say anything yet, so why are you freaking out? And she's like, you're not going to believe this, JP. I was like, what? And she said, do you know what happened when we were bunking in your room a few days ago? I was like, no. Well, she said that one of her friends who stayed, because I had an apartment, so we all bunked into my bedroom, and there were like four of them sleeping on the floor. So one of the girls, who bunked in, she had a really strange experience. She had a nightmare in my bedroom, and what happened was, she said that it was very real, and all she remembered was that she was walking back to my apartment along Broadway, and there was this person following her, and every time when she wanted to take a good look at his face, she couldn't see the face, and it was really, really strange. And she ran back to my apartment back then, and as soon as she stepped into the building, she said in her dream she was wearing this talisman, for protection, and the talisman in her dream burst into flames. So in her belief, I guess it warded some sort of an evil spirit, and that's what she said, and that's what she told my friend. And the reason why my friend freaked out and was silent was because she asked me before that, how did it look like? And I explained to her the physique, he had broad shoulders, really tall. I said it looked like a silhouette of a male being, because it was tall with broad shoulders. And that's why she freaked out, because she said it's incredible, because the physique was exactly like what my friend told her. Oh, no, not my friend, her friend. It was exactly what her friend told her. And she said, that's really, really freaky. And she said that, do you know that my friend would never lock her door ever since, she had that dream. Like, she would never lock the bathroom doors. So I was like, oh my God, so what should I do? So I thought, should I tell the administrator in my uni? I was like, no. I figured if I tell them, they'll send me to see a shrink. So I thought I better just shut up, and I just live with it. So I called my mom, and I told her what happened, and then she said, okay, I'm going to courier you a talisman from a temple, because my aunt is Taoist, and she said, I'll get it from your aunt from this temple, and it will protect you. And ever since then, I would wear this talisman, and throughout the whole year, there were some very strange encounters. The very strange encounters, like my toothbrush would have a very weird smell, like a decay smell, and I thought that my apartment mate, was pulling a fast one on me and maybe like scrub the toilet floors with my toothbrush, because it was just a really weird stench, and I just ignored it, and I got myself a new toothbrush, and it went on for a few days. And I think I confronted my apartment mate, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He just gave me that look, like, I was like, okay, strange, maybe a strange smelling cockroach or something. I just didn't think twice, or I thought, maybe I didn't wash my toothbrush well. It was just a very strange decay smell. And then always when I was brushing my teeth, because the sink would be here and here would be the door, and opening up to the apartment, and always at the corner of my eye I would see a dark shadow, just just zipping here and there real fast. But when I turn my head and I take a look, I won't see anything. So at that time, I had no experience, so I thought, no big deal, maybe it's just a dust in my eye or something, and I just didn't think twice about it. So there was one day, my relatives, my aunt came to pick me up, and we went out during the weekends to eat. She would take me out to eat and all that, and then I told her, she had a lot of experience when she was in Singapore, because she's from Hong Kong, and when the whole family moved to Singapore, they had a lot of paranormal experience. So she would always tell me and my cousins, all these spooky stories about her encounters. So anyway, so to me at that time, she was, somebody whom I would talk to with all this paranormal experience. So I told her, and about what happened, with that silhouette that I saw, and then she said, have you ever had any experience where your toothbrush would have a strange smell? I was like, yeah, why? It's like, do you know that spirits like to brush their teeth? I was like, you must be kidding, because they are spirits. Why would they want to brush their teeth? And she said when she was in Singapore, every night the spirit knew that she would freak out, and every night she said that he would brush his teeth. Yeah, in her bathroom. And every morning when she wakes up, there'll be that strange smell. And she said, describe that smell. And I would. So I did, and she's like, it's confirmed. That's definitely a spirit in your apartment. I was like, okay, that doesn't help, so what should I do? Because there's nothing you can do. You just pray to God, and hopefully He'll just leave you alone. Because my aunt is Catholic, so just pray to God, and all will be well. And I said okay, because I wasn't really scared, because it wasn't as gory as I thought it would be, like in the movies. So it was just a white silhouette. So whatever. I'm just gonna stay here till the end of the semester, and then perhaps the following year I'll just apply to and move to another building. So, and that's what I did. So I moved. So ever since then, when my friends would visit me and stay over at my apartment, and whenever they leave the toothbrush in the bathroom, I would say, "Do you want the spirit to use your toothbrush?" And everybody would start freaking. I was like, "No." So it became a scary joke, with my friends, who would stay over at my place. Yeah, so. Yeah, so and that's what happened. So in hindsight, even though my mom gave me that talisman that's supposed to protect me, somehow it didn't quite work because I don't know. Because I kept seeing this dark thing at the corner of my eye, just like zipping around the apartment, and I just didn't know what it was. So that was my first ever experience with a spirit. Oh yeah, and I remember there was one morning where I couldn't get up. It was like a paralysis. Have you guys heard of that? As a paralysis, and it was strange because I was at the brink of waking up. Is that phase where you're in between your sleep and your dream. And I remember that I wanted to wake up, but I couldn't. And I couldn't move my body, I couldn't open my eyes, I couldn't even open my mouth. And I just felt that there was something just pressing on me. And that was strange. I mean, I was like, okay, did I drink too much last night? Was it a hangover thingy? I was like, that's pretty strange. So that was a really strange experience. So yeah, so that's my other experience with paranormal. Yeah? Let me take a look. Are there any questions?
No, but
What's
there's
that?
some interesting comments. So Valentine's online.
Oh, hi Zara Muche. I'm glad you made it back to Canada.
Oh,
And then?
no, then swipe to this way.
Swipe it this
yeah,
way?
Yeah, just go. I took screenshots for you.
Oh, okay. Exactly, Bing Kui. For some reason, according to my aunt, spirits like to brush your teeth. I'm as dumbfounded as you. And I was like, but they are an energy form, so why would they brush your teeth back then? Well, I guess maybe they have this attachment of going through the routine of brushing the teeth. I mean, I think that's how I can explain it now. And what else? Here, I'll just check on my laptop. I think it's easier. How did you get rid of the tooth spirit? I didn't. I didn't know how to, because I was a free thinker, and I was only 17, 18? So I didn't know, and my mom just said, just hold on to the talisman, and that's fine. Oh yeah, and Martin asked how the person died due to accidental death. You know what? So I told one of my senior friends who graduated the year before, but she would come back and party with us, and she said, "Do you know that somebody killed himself jumping out of a room in this apartment? I mean, in this building." I was like, no. I was like, oh no. And I didn't tell her about the spirit, and it was so random. And she's like, oh, do you know? I was like, She's like, do you know what I saw when I first moved in? And she's like, why don't you ask the office people where this person used to stay? I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I don't want to freak out any further. I just want to stay in the apartment until the end of my of school year and get the hell out of that place. Oh, can I say that? Oh, I can say hell? Okay, fine. So sorry about that. So let me see, any more comments?
Someone
In the comments.
Was it Cynthia said it was a dead dentist.
It was a dead dentist. No, it's not a dead dentist.
And a lot of people are very surprised he shared a toothbrush with a spirit.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wait, I can't see all 24 comments.
You can't, because it actually scrolls up.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So I cannot? Oh okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I missed some of your comments. Okay, so yeah, so I think the spirit was this person who actually jumped down from the building. That's what I think. Because my friend said it was a guy who killed himself. So I think that may be it. Yeah, that may be it.
Cynthia asked, how did you get rid of the pressing spirit? And Julia asked, did you continue to use your tooth, brush your teeth with that brush?
No, I did not continue using toothbrush. I actually, changed it. It happened to me consecutively for 2 days. For 2 days, yeah. And no, it's not because I have bad breath. All right. So, but it's a very strange decay smell. It's not pungent. It's just a lingering decay smell. It's a very earthy kind of a smell. It's strange. I've never smelt it ever since. Never. Yeah. Cynthia asked, how did you get rid of the pressing spirit? I struggled. I just just struggled. You see, because I come from a family. She'll join you if you go to the temple. She will light incense, but nothing too serious. Just okay. I think something happened just now. Yeah. So So I didn't know how to get rid of it back then.
But how would you get rid of it now?
Okay. So our back end passage in I here said, how would you get rid of it now? Now that I have studied Buddhism, the way that you actually get rid of it is, well, for me, there are many ways of doing it. You see, because one way is you're supposed to chant, but unfortunately, you can't move your mouth. So even if you were to recite in your heart, I don't think it works. Well, I've not tried it because a few years ago, when I was pressed down again, I couldn't move my mouth, but I struggled, and as soon as I could move my mouth, I recited Dorje Shugden's mantra, Om Benza Wiki Bitana Soha, Om Benza Wiki Bitana Soha. I recited that 3 times, and I blew it onto that being in front of me, and the being will just repel. That's one of the mantras you can do, or you can do white umbrella, Om Sita Tapatre Hompet, Om Sita Tapatre Hompet, Om Sita Tapatre Hompet. You can recite that, and then you can just again blow it onto the spirit. See, what these mantras do is, as my teacher explained to me, Ten Rinpoche, Rinpoche would say that you don't repel them, like you don't go repel them per se, but you bless them. You bless them with mantras of compassion, and they will calm down. You see, because these spirits, as Rinpoche say, they are going through a lot of suffering, and they just can't help doing what they do to disturb us. And I asked, what do you mean they can't help doing what they do to disturb us? He said, just look on the human realm. Just look at the human realm, and there are certain people, who just can't help behaving in a certain way, and they just keep doing it because of their karma. So same thing with spirits. They just can't help doing what they do. So I guess for the spirit, there's certain type of spirit that will actually press on you. Okay, I will explain deeper what happens, because after that, for 3 years I did not have any encounter of any spirits. Then when I graduated from college, and when I was on a tour in Europe with my mom and my sister, I had my next encounter. So I'll share that with you next Thursday, okay? So if you like paranormal stories, then stay tuned. Okay, what mantra, Sharon? Well, I just said that. So you can do Dorje Shuden, you can do white umbrella. That's what I did. And for very, very powerful spirits, which I encountered when I was in LA a few years ago, I did Trakze, which is the most wrathful form of Georgie Shugden, because I will tell you more in detail of my many experiences in LA. So I did that mantra and I blew on to that being that was attacking me. Okay? So, and that thing just literally just repelled from me, because I could see it. It was green. It repelled off of me and it left the room. And ever since then, it never came back. Yeah, so I'll get into more detail when I talk about my LA experience. Is that exciting? Yay. What else? Hi, Alden. He mentioned the other mantra. What was it? It was white umbrella or Dukar. White umbrella. Dukar. D-U-K-K-A-R. Okay? The mantra is Om Sitata Patre Hompet. Om Sitata Patre Hompet. Oh, actually, look. It's that deity behind me in green. Yeah? That's her. That's her. Oh, perfect. I have Dukar right behind me. I should have more. Let me turn this around. Hold on. This is part of my altar, you see? Yes, I'm a Dukar fan. See? It was a gift from Rinpoche for me. Yeah, I'm surrounded by Dukar because apparently I'm like honey to bees when it comes to spirits, so I need a lot of protection.
Someone asked earlier, why your toothbrush?
Why my toothbrush? Oh, hi Hayden. Why my toothbrush? Well, because, let me think. Oh yeah, because I remembered because my housemate didn't put his toothbrush in the bathroom. Don't ask me why. So it was only my toothbrush on the counter. Yeah, so I guess that's because that's the only toothbrush, so the spirit decided to use it. Why my toothbrush? Well, Patsy say is because of karma. What karma?
You have karma connection with the being, so you can actually affect you as opposed to everyone else in the building.
Oh, you want me to go Dharma? Okay. Well, in Buddhism, we believe that all these experiences is due to our own karma. Karma is the law of cause and effect. So, I had the karma to be connected to this being, even though I've never met this being before, as far as I remember. So so because of my affinity, my karmic affinity to this being, so somehow this being chose my toothbrush, I guess, to get my attention, and perhaps wanted to communicate with me. Yeah, but I didn't hear anything. They didn't, the being didn't talk to me. Nothing. It was just standing there watching all the time. Yeah, so that was my experience back then.
Grace Young asks, do you fear that it might happen to you again? And Baku asks, who are you?
Who is, sorry? Baku.
Baku.
Baku. Hi Baku, hi Grace. Who am I? I'm JP. I am one of the directors of Kechara. Kechara is a Tibetan Buddhist organization. We are not-for-profit, and we're based in Bentong, Malaysia. So this is my room here, and during this coronavirus lockdown, I am staying in Kechara Forest Retreat. So you can Google Kechara Forest Retreat.com, and you can see that we have a retreat here that has a lot of facilities and services and programs for those of you who would like to study more Buddhism or just to experience a very holistic and a very holistic and organic lifestyle. So that's who I am. So what was Grace?
She asked, do you fear if it will happen to you again?
being pressed, Grace, what you're asking whether or not I am afraid that that the thing will press on me again. Well, the being after that experience, after I've moved out of the apartment, I have never met that same spirit again. I met many other spirits thereafter, but not this one in particular. Not this one. Yeah, you see, you have to understand when not everyone has that karma to experience or to meet spirits. Not everyone. Not everyone, because I have seen spirits a lot, which I will tell you. Many spirits, hundreds, marching towards me. I'll tell you in one of the episodes. And my friend was just right next to me, and he has never seen spirits before, and I could see them so clearly, and I was so excited, but he couldn't see it. So, and I'll tell you about it in another episode of this program. Okay, what else? Don't want this type of friend, lah. What friend? Oh, this Ken. Oh, yeah. You're afraid of spirits, right?
Bing Kui asks, do spirits know that you can sense them? And is that why they try to connect with you?
Yes, Bing Kui. Well, Bing Kui asked this. Yeah, do spirits know that you can sense them? And is that why they try to connect with you? I believe so, Bing Kui. I believe so. Because many years after I graduated from college, when I came back to Malaysia, 10 years after that, I was seeing spirits again. And I realized that, and I dabbled a bit on energy healing. Excuse me. As a result of my spirit encounters, because I had no idea what was going on, and I thought that I was hallucinating. And me being me, I would actually check myself to make sure that I am not hallucinating, or I'm not being paranoid, or I'm seeing, I don't know. So when I was helping the spirits in energy healing, you help them cross over to the light, which I will again talk about more in my later episodes. When I started doing that for one spirit, then a week later, I would see another one, and I would do the same. And I noticed that when I started doing that, I started seeing more and more spirits. So from seeing one spirit a week, it would increase to twice a week, 3 times a week, until it was a daily affair. And it was just one spirit. It would be many, like 10, 20, 30, 40. Depends on where I go, you see. Depends on where I go. So if I go to a place and for some reason I'll be eating in a restaurant or wherever I go, and somehow they'll be waiting for me outside my friend's house or outside the restaurant, just wherever I go, or if I'm driving down the freeway, literally they'll be flying and chasing me. So, and I used to ignore them because I thought, I'm like, there cannot be so many spirits all of a sudden. Just because I started doing this energy healing thing, in Kuala Lumpur, all of a sudden became so haunted. It was madness. So, but I checked myself many. I checked and I cross-checked many times, which I'll explain to you later. And I realized that I was not hallucinating. And yeah, so to answer Bing Kui, somehow they know. And I was sending so many spirits to the light every night for a month. Then all of a sudden, for one whole month, no spirits came to my room. Can you imagine? No spirits came to my room. I had a month break. So I told my friends back. I was like, oh, I guess I sent my neighborhood spirit, to God knows where. I guess I helped him cross over. So yeah, so I did my part. Do they look scary? Hi, Desmond. Do they look scary? In general, I was very lucky. They just look like humans, some. Some was just a black spirit, just a black silhouette, like a shadow. Some are like a black silhouette climbing up the wall. Some are like fairy lights, clusters of fairy lights. They can come in red. Are you fascinated, Pastor Gina?
Streaming you.
Oh, you're streaming. Oh, you're streaming me. Sorry. Clusters of red lights, like fairy lights, like sparkling, or green light. Yeah. So I am very lucky that they didn't appear before me scary, because Rinpoche did tell me, it's like, oh yeah, you're very lucky. There are certain spirits, they are so horrific looking that you will become crazy, that you turn mad, you turn crazy upon sight. So like, yeah, I don't want to get there. What kind of karma that made spirit keep appearing to you? Hi Jerry. Is it Jerry or Gary? Jerry, Gerrie. I don't know. Rinpoche told me that I have a very strange karma. Well, I guess I must have done something in my previous lives that, that made me have this strong affinity to meet spirits. Very, very strong affinity to meet spirits. And they would they would just gravitate towards me. Maybe, I don't know, to get help or something. I have no idea what they want. But what regardless, as Rinpoche says, when we encounter spirits, when we experience spirits, whether you see them, you feel them, or you hear them, you should always recite your prayers. If you're Buddhist, you can do Buddhist prayers, not to scare them away, because Buddhist prayers are prayers of compassion. And spirits are in the energy realm, or the spirit realm. But if you break it down, they're basically energy, and when they're in that realm, they can actually experience the calmness, the serenity, the peace, and the compassion when we recite mantras of compassion. So in Buddhist prayers, we do mantras of compassion. So when they feel that energy, they immediately calm down. So so that's what and that's what we do. So Rinpoche says to bless them with the mantras. And if you want to do this, what you can do is, depending on what mantra you do, if it's, let's say, white umbrella, like the deity behind me, Om Siddhartha Patre Hom Pet, as you are reciting her beautiful mantra, you can visualize her size of your thumb, okay, like that, and the billions of it coming from your heart, going outwards, just billions of it. And when you visualize her, she should be luminous, all right, glowing, nothing too hard, but glowing, like an energy, like an energy, just glowing, and billions of her going outwards, blessing the beings in front of you. And when you do that, you actually bless them and give them a moment of peace. Because they are in a state that whereby they are continuously suffering. So you want to out of compassion, as Buddhists, we relieve the suffering momentarily. And of course, when we bless them with holy mantras, then the seeds of enlightenment are planted into them as well.
Okay, there are a lot of questions.
Okay.
There's one from Chung. Can you think of any reason why you are honey to bees? Perhaps something you did or practiced or visited earlier in life. Yiling asks.
Wait, one at a time.
Okay.
Okay, Chong. God, this is like, it's going so fast. So, okay, so just to answer Chong's question, why? I have asked this question to Rinpoche many times. Rinpoche said that, I'll tell you when the time is right. Well, Rinpoche never told me, so I guess I'll have to figure it out. I'll have to figure it out now. I don't know. Well, there are many possibilities. Maybe because I dabbled in the spirit realm before. Maybe I was a sorcerer. Maybe I killed them and they're back to seek vengeance. There are many, many reasons because some of them did attack me. Yeah, so I don't know. My feeling is perhaps I dabbled in some sort of practice whereby I had to always where I had a lot of opportunity to actually communicate with them or connect to them. So somehow that karma opened up in this lifetime. Yeah.
Okay, so Yiling asks.
Yes, hi Yiling.
So what happened after a month? Did the spirits come back? And it's similar to a question that Eliza has asked.
Hi Eliza.
Based on your Buddhist knowledge now, when you previously guided spirits into the light, where do you think they went? Do you believe you supported them to take rebirth in a different realm?
Okay. Oh, that's a good answer. That's a good question, Eliza. I asked my energy healer back then. She was my my guru back then. I was like, I'm not. It's like, do you know where they go? And just like, I keep wondering as well. But the thing is, and Rinpoche also asked me, like, where do you send them? I said, I have no idea, but somehow they will go to the light because you're supposed to visualize this, like this bright light coming from the sky, coming down, like a spotlight on stage. It's supposed to come down and it's supposed to go down towards where the spirit is, and then you ask the spirit to cross over and go to the light. And of course, you need to call for another light to shine upon you for protection. And that's how. But don't do it yet. So and somehow they go to the light. So I have always been wondering. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they leave. I feel they still stay in the spirit realm. Perhaps I sent them to maybe somewhere not on planet Earth. I really don't know because Rinpoche asked me that question as well, and I said I don't know, but they leave my room, and that's all that mattered to me back then. Yeah, so.
Martin asks, do you think certain mindsets?
Oh wait, but Yiling said what about a month? Something about a month.
Because you mentioned that a lot of spirits came to you for a month, and then in the next month there was no one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
Yiling.
did they come back after?
Oh yes. Then after that, more came. I guess they are telepathic. Somehow they came from other neighborhoods and they just came in droves. They just came and non-stop. But I was lucky because by that time I met Rinpoche already. Okay, which I will share with you guys how I managed to stop all this. Another episode lah, okay? Yeah.
Martin asks, do you think certain mindsets such as anger, depression or fear would attract spirits and ghosts more?
Oh yes, hi Martin. Yes, so do I think certain mindsets such as anger, depression or fear would attract spirits and ghosts more? Then again, it depends on your karma. Okay, I have friends who have all these afflictive emotions and they don't see anything or hear or don't experience anything. But for people like me or any one of you who have the karma to experience spirits, we have to be very careful because Rinpoche explained to me, because I used to be depressed a lot of times back then, and he said you have to control yourself, control your emotions, because spirits will actually feed on on to your negative emotions. So let's say if I feel depressed, I will feel even more depressed because they will actually feel it. They will amplify that experience that you're going through. So we have to be very careful. So for those of you who are very angersome, you may be a little bit angry, but all of a sudden your anger just explodes and you just don't know why, and it's out of control. That's because there's a spirit next to you feeling it. It will amplify it. Yeah. How I know this is because, and when Rinpoche spoke that, explained to me about it, it triggered a memory in me because I remember very distinctively that during one of my, my 1.5 years of full-blown spirit encounters, I was playing mahjong. Yes, mahjong was one of my pastimes back then. I was playing mahjong, I went to my friend's place in Bangsar, which is in Kuala Lumpur, and I saw a lady spirit, just on the way, and somehow she latched onto me, and she followed me to my friend's apartment. And I couldn't get rid of it, because in energy healing, there are ways to get rid of it, but somehow I just couldn't get rid of it. She was just latching on me behind me. And as soon as I sat down playing mahjong, she was like over me, and just like in the movies, I didn't win a single hand. Within an hour, I lost all my chips, and my friends were like, "Oh God, it's like you have really bad luck today." I was like, and I didn't want to tell them because the owner of that place, she's terrified of spirits, so she would kill me if I told her that a spirit followed me to your apartment. So I kept quiet. And I was like, "Give me a moment." So I went to the bathroom, and I spoke to the spirits like, "Can you get the hell out of here? You're making me lose money. Get out!" And she wouldn't leave. So and I just played mahjong for that 1 hour. So I didn't get my fix. So I went back to the table. I said, "Okay, you know what? Let me your chips and let me get it's like let me try it again." And within half an hour, I lost all my chips. It was unbelievable. And my friends felt so bad. And I was like, "You know what? I don't think we should play. We don't think we should play today. So yeah, why don't you just go back?" I was like, "What? What? Just 1.5 hours?" Because you have to know what those of you who play mahjong, you have to have at least like 5 or 6 hours to get that kick. So I was like, "Oh God, that's such a bummer." So anyway, so I drove home, and as I was driving home, I felt very sad. I was like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay, I just lost a few $100. So okay." But then the sadness took a dive, and I had this. I was in depression. It was scary, and I was thinking of killing myself, and that was scary. I was like, I only lost a few $100. Why would I want to kill myself for a few $100? It was, I was like debating in my head. It's like, "Okay, JP, kill yourself." It's like, "No, it's only a few $100. Why am I killing myself?" It's like, "No, JP, kill yourself." And I was having this debacle in my mind, and no, I wasn't crazy. So, and I was just talking, it's like, wait a minute. So when I went back to my room to deal with that lady's spirit, as soon as I walked into my room, it was really strange, because I have a picture of myself, when I was younger. And when I looked at my picture, I wanted to cry. No, I wasn't that bad looking, but it was just I was just very depressed. And the thought came into my mind. Pastor Gina is like going hysterical here. I was quite a cute kid, right? So it was strange. I had this thought that, life was so much happier when I was a kid. And I knew that didn't come from me. I knew that thought didn't come from me. So immediately, you see, in energy healing, we were taught to immediately go into meditation when we have these kind of disturbances, to go into meditation and somehow send this being to the light. So immediately I went into meditation, and I could, in my meditation back then, immediately I zoomed in to where this thought or this emotion was coming from. This emotion of depression, this emotion of wanting to kill myself, and this thought that, oh, I was a lot happier when I was a kid. And everything started to make sense, because when I started to take a step back in meditation, I could actually segregate what was my feeling and what was that spirit's feeling. It was very clear. But if I didn't calm my mind and go into meditation, I would be confused that I actually thought that those were my feelings and those were my thoughts. So, yes, so to answer Martin's question, yes, they can influence, because Rinpoche said that when we have these negative emotions, it is a portal for spirits to come in and connect to us and feed it and amplify it. Okay, so because of that experience, I could now always step back and go, wait a minute, that's not my emotion, that's not my thought. I'm actually feeling, or I'm actually experiencing your thought and your feelings. And I verified that with Rinpoche, and Rinpoche said that's correct. So I was lucky that I knew how to meditate and could distinguish. Yeah? Okay, next.
So I think we've been going for about an hour, so we do the last two
Oh, it's
questions.
been an hour already? Oh, wow, time flies. I was told to only do 15 minutes. Whoops, sorry.
So Yiling
Okay.
asks,
Yes, Yiling.
protector mantras also bless? Question mark.
Yes, protector mantras also bless, because Dorje Shugden is an emanation of Manjushri. He is the Buddha of wisdom. So, protector mantras, they protect us from experiencing the effects of our negative karma. So they are mantras of compassion, definitely.
Okay, then Lilibeth de Jesus asks.
Hi Lily, how are you? Thanks for logging in.
She asked, will burning incense or sage help drive away these negative beings?
Yes, certain incense, especially sage, has cleansing powers, and many people actually use sage to cleanse. So you light the sage. I think I have one here. Hold on. You smudge and you go to every room and you basically smoke out the entire room. And what it does, it drives away negativity. Yeah, so you can do that. For Buddhists, we use juniper to do that, and there are many other types of incense that Tibetan Buddhists use to again, push away negativity. Yeah. One of the things that we add on to our incense is protector rice. This is rice that has been blessed by Dorje Shugden. Okay, by the oracle, when the oracle takes trance of Dorje Shugden. So they bless it, and then we burn it, and again, it will bless and push away spirits that are negative in nature. Negative in nature meaning that they have intention of harming us. Yeah. Of course, there are other spirits that are more benign. Well, they will linger, but don't worry, because they don't have negative intentions to disturb us and or to harm us. So even if you see them, it's fine, because well, there are so many dimensions that are that coexist with us. So you may just have the karma to all of a sudden see them, but don't worry about it.
Okay, and there's a comment here by Audrey Shum.
Hi Audrey, it's my cousin. Hi.
She said great interview, and then she.
What is it? Great interview.
Great interview.
Well, hi Audrey. Are you in Singapore right now? See, I grew up with Audrey. She's my cousin, second cousin, from the United States, and both of us used to be like chicken, and we always ask our aunt about all these ghost stories. Yeah, so I just shared with everyone about my experience in New York. Remember I told you about my apartment? Yeah, and Auntie Christine would actually tell me about the toothbrush thingy. Yeah, I told everybody.
And then she made a comment, I think, about the mahjong. She said, wow, 5 to 6 hours only. Then she put a laughing emoji.
Oh, I can't curse. Yes, Audrey. Love you too. Okay, I think that's about it for today. So if you liked what I shared with you all, join me again next week, same time, same day, every Thursday, 10 p.m. As long as there's a shutdown, I'll be here sharing with you. Why are you laughing?
Lockdown, shutdown.
Oh, no, it's not shutdown, lockdown. God, sorry. Yeah, as long as there's a lockdown, then I'll be sharing this, okay? And if you like what I just shared with you, please share it with your friends, and do ask them to listen and log in next week, okay? And my tagline is, stay home, stay terrified. Bye.
Okay, so you actually need to hit finish.